This one we have next is a special one that we are doing virtually. We have this special subject called Is TV Still the Safest Environment for Brands to Invest? And to share the noteworthy thoughts on the same, we'll have Jayen Mehta, COO, GCMMF AMUL, who will be joining us virtually over here for a special address. The stage is all yours, sir. Thank you and welcome to TV Summit 2022.
Thank you so much. Real pleasure to be here today. And I've been asked to talk on a very difficult subject. I don't know whether it's my forte or not, but I'll make a small effort in sharing what is our perspective on how we look at television at AMUL, and both as an advertiser and as consumers. And I'll just make a small presentation and we'll continue the discussion based on that. Yeah. Can I share my screen? So here we are trying to decode that whether TV is still the safest environment for brands to invest. Okay, I'll take you back to the year 1975. I don't know how many people are aware, but before the cable and satellite television came into India, it was AMUL in 1975 where the first experiment of satellite broadcasting, basically trying to create content, which is producing content and sharing it through satellite across about 300 villages of Kerala district through a community television set. This experiment took place. So this was our first experience and experiment with television broadcasting as well as content creation. And let me tell you, there were many popular shows which people used to flock around at a village cooperative society and watching these shows. And some of the names of the shows are still legendary. Hu Ane Mari Puri. Puri was the name of a buffalo, and there was a series made on how a farmer and a buffalo helped nurture the dairy cooperative societies and the livelihood of so many people. So this is where AMUL journey began, and today we are among the top 10 advertisers on television, be it in print, be it in radio, and also we are perhaps the strongest brand as a food brand on the social media, talking to customers and discussing and hearing the customers' messages and feedback and the insights, not just in English, but 11 mother tongues of the country. Okay, so this is where the brand is working on it. Twitter also, we've been very popular in social media. There is one tweet which said that AMUL is AMUL is the only food non-sports brand in the world which created the most engaging content even on FIFA, which is the ongoing thing. So this is what is the power of communication and messaging using different media available, but with the core message of spending less than 1% of our total turnover advertising. So cost-effective advertising, cost-effective content creation, cost-effective communication is actually the forte of AMUL, which we try to practice. The idea is not that we don't have budgets, but the idea is to pass on the largest share of the consumer's rupee to the producer. So while most FMCGs spend 5 to 12% of their turnovers on advertising, we manage with less than 1%. But then we have advantage of the brand, which is a common umbrella brand, and of course the mascot, which is a media by herself. And that's where we have been following this mantra of creating content, basically, not just working or thinking like an advertiser, but also try to create content which is durable, sustainable, and memorable. And what can qualify for this, particularly on television, was our sponsorship of Surbi, a show which lasted for more than 10 years on Doordarshan. And the caricature is of the AMUL. I did mention about TV, print, social media. AMUL also owns one of the most prominent outdoor asset, which is the billboards. But having said that, this is a show which was very popular and it continued to get millions of postcards every week. We were our first association with the television show was Quiz Time way back in 1980s. I don't know how many of you remember this, but India in those days grew up on Siddharth Basu's show of Quiz Time, and we were among the first advertiser or sponsor of these particular shows. And of course, when Star did not have any other branded content, we had the AMUL India show there running for almost 7 to 8 years till Star turned Hindi. So shows live a long life with the traction on digital as well. But primarily, if you invest in good content on television, it helps the brand stay more in the minds of the customers. And it's not just the Master Chef, which is an iconic show which we've been sponsoring year and year, but also the likes of the Saregama and the several shows in different regional languages across the country, which help promote and popularize the brand in a very, very big way. And the power of television and power of content on television, one cannot forget the experience all of us had with Ramayana and Mahabharata during the first phase of lockdown way back in 2020. But the kind of audience viewership and response that we got on such an old content also was phenomenal. You can imagine we were getting 10 times the TV, viewership on an IPL, equivalent on an IPL on Ramayana and Mahabharata 4 times a day. So that's the, and at a cost which is, I can't share here, but it's a fraction of a cost which happened on this. So this is the power of television. This is the power of content. And even if old content played at the right time with the right context actually gives you a very, very good eyeballs. And we kind of played 120 retro ads in of 1960s and 90s on this as AMUL classics, and it got very, very good viewership and a huge traction and buzz in the social media as well. And of course, content which is products energized with the news content, talking about new things and relevant things during lockdown also made a lot of difference. And of course, milk as the world's original energy drink being promoted on FIFA, and the kind of viewership FIFA is attracting even today with our association of 2 teams, which is Argentina and Portugal, it makes the whole thing actually realize the power of television in a very, very big way. And it's not that only social media conversations happen, it's the TV which triggers such kind of conversations, and these are some of the proof around that. So we've seen that even post-COVID or the recovery phase also, the volumes on television did jump, did reach a record high, and the large number of advertisers came into it. And of course, FMCGs continue to lead across categories, and the Hindi channels continue to dominate across the languages. This, as an audience which is expert in television advertising, knows these numbers, but this is one industry which continues to grow despite of all the negativity or other alternate options thrown around it. And this is a fact that these TV channels ensure the communication reaches to more than 20 crore households, okay, which means close to 100 crore people. This is what is the power of the medium, which is one unifying force across the country. And in India, where community viewing, family viewing, all these are very, very important and relevant, television as a media will continue to be relevant. And you can imagine the man who has created the Man Ki Baat used television in such a big way to spread out his messages, his advice, his guidance, and his feedback on the coronavirus through 7 to 8 different interactions over the couple of years, shows the power of the medium and reaching out to the medium in multiple languages across the length and breadth of the country. So since India speaks multiple languages, TV is the direct route to connect with most of the consumers, and the growth of regional Indian channels today has given to the given a big boost to the voice of Bharat, and content which is aired in regional channels will drive the next decade of television content. So earlier it was only that a few content creators were using 1 or 2 languages to disseminate their messages and all. Today it is 22, the power of 22 Indian languages actually, which is coming to television in a big way and reaching out to audiences. And one cannot forget that if we are talking of family viewing, it's the kids which are very important, and getting good quality content in multiple regional languages relating to Indian culture is also very important. And that's why when we say, is this a safe environment to advertise, we should also say, is it a safe environment to consume content? And yes, television ticks all the boxes. And nothing can beat live sports to show the power of television. So experiencing live sports on TV, there is no other alternative. And like Indians love cricket and now football and many other sports, television is the common denominator with that glues every member of the households, and everyone watches television together, and which we collectively understand and leverage the power of TV in a very, very big way. So as advertisers are here in this room, as much as the broadcasters and the content creators are here today, this is one simple strategy that we try to follow and try to fit in. I mean, one looks at the medium, of course, but then the content on the medium is very important. Whom we are addressing to, whether it's the housewife or it's a child or the male TG or a youth. in what context he or she is watching it, and are we consistent in communicating our messages through them. So this is where is a very simple thing. The moment you hit the center hot spot and the sweet spot, there is an aha in this, and the messages would reach the right audience in the most cost effective way. And that's what is the 4C mantra, with the main thing of bringing down the cost, making the content and the communication very, very clear and cost effective. So the future of television is intertwined with Indian growth, and that as a market we are growing, and obviously television as a media will continue to grow with this. Indians speak multiple languages, and the voice of multicultural India can now be heard and spoken in their mother tongue, which is what the power of television is, the power of communication is. And TV is perhaps the only medium which brings together the entire Indian household, and the quality and the safe content also assures the promise of a cultured future for our children, our next generation. As most of us know, apart from the content entertainment which we have on general entertainment channels, sports and news will be the biggest driver of this channel engagement and stickiness. And I'm sure that will also drive the penetration of television further into the households of the country. And TV and digital will coexist, but the content dissemination power of television cannot be undermined for at least a couple of decades more, till any other channel or any other medium will come and dominate. But we are quite optimistic that as consumers and as advertisers, TV is here to stay, TV is here to grow, and there should be more power to all those who are creating content for the television, providing access to television, using of latest technology to disseminate this information, the power of the content that the multimedia offers, and that would really increase the reach and consumption across the country. I'm sure the advertisers will continue to invest strongly in this media and make it a bigger and a more vibrant ecosystem. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you. I'll be happy to take any questions, and once again, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, sir, for that lovely presentation. Can we please have a round of applause, please? Thank you for joining us, sir. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.